it's Glenn from glenscarcollection.com, and today we're viewing one of my favorite cars, a mid-engine Porsche, a 2015 Boxster GTS. All right, so the GTS gives you all the performance options standard instead of taking Sport Chrono here or taking, let's make a left here, Sport Exhaust. GTS gives you all those goodies in that price, $75,500 when this car was brand new in 2015. You can tell the GTSs, besides the insignia on the side and on the back trunk, is that it also has the black wheels. 330 horsepower, so 15 horsepower more than an S. Gives you Sport Chrono standard, which also is going to give you launch control. You get the Sport Exhaust standard, and also the adjustable suspension. Let's go down to first. Whoa! Ton of power here, and the handling is just sublime. It's a lightweight car, lighter than the 911. It's actually, I'm filming this in November, it's 78 degrees out. Just because there's wind noise, I have the top up, but I have been driving this with the top down. So we're going to take it on some curvy mountain roads and watch the video all the way to the end, because at the end I'm going to tell you what I like and what I don't like about the Boxster GTS. Let's go. All right, so before we take it for a drive, a spirited drive, let's go over the interior. All right, so this is not the standard wheel here. Even though this is a GTS, this is the Sport Design wheel. So the downside, and see we're in Sport Plus mode, so whatever mode we go in, Sport, Sport Plus, get them off, comfort mode. You want this because this gives you the real paddle shifter. So Porsches at the 981 vintage, if you put it in manual, you're doing the opposite. So here to downshift, you have to pull it back, and upshift, you have to push it forward. You don't want to do that because that makes no sense. So what you want is the optional, and this is a $2,000 retrofit, including labor, the Sport Design wheels. The downside, and who cares, you lose the radio controls and the volume controls, but you get this paddle, and this to me is the only way to use PDK. So if you saw my Cayman S video from last year where we did a 2014 Cayman S, it had the little top, even though that was a manual transmission, it had the base 981 steering wheel, which is the ugliest Porsche steering wheel I've ever seen. And for PDK, you'd have the toggle, the toggle switches that are left over from Tiptronic, which I believe are positive and negative on each one. And forget it, you don't want that. So here, instead of 5 gauges, 5 circles like a 911, the Caymans and Boxsters have 3. And as you can see here, I can go reverse, neutral. So I bring it over to the left to be in manual mode. And now these paddle shifters, you can always override it with the paddle shifters, even if you're driving in the regular mode where it shifts for you. And it does hold you in lower gears for sure, especially when you're in Sport Plus. Sport Plus, it becomes 6-speed instead of 7-speed. I'll call it comfort or normal mode, and Sport gives you the whole 7 speeds. So these are options, but it has heated seats, cooled seats. I don't think you would use both at the same time. Your climate control. The automatic temperature on the Boxster Cayman is actually optional. Bose stereo, which this have, is optional. The GTS automatically comes with the Sport Chrono. It comes with the adjustable suspension, and it comes with the Sport Exhaust. This is your poser button for the rear spoiler. This is your start-stop. This is your electronics, your traction control. And this is how you open and close the top. You can do it up to about 30 miles an hour. My friend says 35. I know for sure for 30 miles an hour. The ignition key, and he's got the cool speed yellow ignition key. The ignition key on the Porsches are to the left. Supposedly the story is that back when they were racing, they used to run to their cars, obviously, a long time ago, and they would have to start it, put their seatbelt on, put it in first gear. This kind of saved a step because you can run it in first gear because they were all manuals back then, and then turn it with your left hand to get going. All right, so now enough with the interior. Let's take it for a spirited drive. All right, let's do this. I like using the PDK in manual shifting mode. Now it does a great job shifting by itself, but I just prefer to be more involved. PDK is about a $3,900 option, a little more than that. And it makes this car much, much faster. So I've driven, if you followed the channel for a long time, in 2017, we did a 997.2 Turbo S, which was PDK. And when we drive it in Sport Plus, it makes it a 6-speed instead of a 7-speed. If we put it in automatic mode, change it over here, we it'll hold us in those longer gears. It'll keep us in second until we redline. Until it's positive, we're not going to accelerate again, and then it'll upshift us to third. I just like it more involving, so I get on the manual side. Now, this is a Boxster GTS with a 330 horsepower. I've recently driven the base, and the base with PDK is probably equal to the S in a manual. And this GTS PDK is probably as fast as a 991.1 base with a manual. So my car with the turbos, the .2 991 is definitely faster. I noticed the difference right away. This is not as fast as my car, but my car has 370 horsepower. All right, underpass here. Let's get ready. Let's do this. Ready? Now, it's too windy, so I have the top up. I've been driving it with the top down, so I know what it's all about, but you would just hear wind noise here. We have some slow traffic, so let's wait for the traffic to clear a little bit. I usually film at the crack of dawn, but I'm borrowing this car for the afternoon, so this place gets crowded really quick. Amazing handling, being mid-engine. All right, ready? Let's go. Second gear. PDK makes gear shifting effortless. You could really, we're echoing off the mountains here. I find myself, when I drive a PDK car, I drive it crazier because it's so easy to upshift, downshift, so it's so easy to redline, pull off shifts, even going around turns, and then immediately going back down. I notice when I'm in a manual in the 911, I tend to leave it in third gear more. I don't downshift to second as much, but you do get that fantastic howl at the top of the red line. Let's go. So balanced. You can really feel how light and nimble this car is. It is a blast. This car is addicting. I'm telling you, addicting convertibles, S2000, any Boxster, NSX, that's a Targa if you consider it, just because they handle so well. This car just sounds so good. So this is the flat 6, 3.4 liters, normally aspirated, no turbos here, and that's why it sounds so good. So with the Porsche Sport exhaust and Sport Plus, wow, it sounds amazing. Get that pick with the PDK. We're in Sport Plus. You don't get that in Sport mode, and you actually get more pops and burbles in Sport mode, and the reason for that is Sport Plus is supposed to give you the fastest lap time, where Sport is for fun. So Sport Plus, less cracks and burbles. Sport gives you all those cracks and burbles. And the PDK, it gives you like that shove every time you shift, when you're in that Sport Plus. And it actually makes the rear wheels lose traction a little bit, and I don't notice that in sport mode, so maybe that's on purpose. Because I can't believe my car has 370 horsepower, it's rear drive just like this, my 911. It's not losing traction on upshifts, where this is in Sport Plus mode only. All right, let's go. Let's try this again. We had so much traffic last time. See, now with PDK, it's so easy to run through the gears. So I drive at 9 and 3 and just have my hands right underneath the paddles. So it's very easy to just pull them. And I notice I feel bad for the cyclists. I've been passing them all day long here. Now the power is up high on this car. So compared to my 911 with the turbos, I have power instantly, blasting out of corners. Here I really gotta be 5,000 to 8,000 RPM to have any power. So if you first drive this car and you're used to a turbocharged car, whether it's an M2 or something, you're gonna think this car is slow. It's fast on the top of the power band, so that's what you have to realize here. It makes it amazingly fun because most turbos run out of steam, and this, since it's a naturally aspirated engine, it really pulls up to that red line. And because it's mid-engine, I can enter a corner a lot faster than I can with the 911. But I don't have the rear end grip the 911 has coming out of the corner. I could drive this car all day. If there was no traffic on this road, I would just go up and down this road all day. Now, the reason I have the top up is just so you can hear me. There would be wind noise. There's a wind buffeter. I don't know where it is. We don't have it. So all you're going to hear is wind. But drive this car with the top down. Now there are some blind spots, as you can see here. There are some blind spots over my shoulder. It's a 2015. That's when the GTS first came out. The first Cayman S was 2014, the 981 platform. Boxster S came a year before that, 2013. So the GTS didn't come to 2015. This car was bought for under 60 grand with 20-something thousand miles. CPO, so 2-year unlimited mile warranty. $15 more horsepower with the GTS package. So 0 to 60 with launch control, 4.1 seconds. Without launch control, probably 4.3, and that's what it feels like to me. That's 1/10 of a second faster than you'll get with a Boxster S that has 15 less horsepower. Same size engine. All right, things I love about the Boxster. Mid-engine sound, better than the 911 because it's right behind your head. Because it's mid-engine, it's more maneuverable, more nimble than a 911. Now the 911, to be fast with that rear end grip, is definitely a faster car. You'll put up faster lap times, but you need a lot more skill to do it. You really have to learn that rear engine bias and how to use that rear end grip. So the 911, the better you can use the rear end grip, the faster you'll be. This is really easy to drive fast, way easier. First time driving both, I think your lap time would be faster in this till you learn that 911, and then the 911 would exceed it. It's faster acceleration. It doesn't have that long second gear like the manual transmissions have. Ooh, a T-Rex, or no, Polaris Slingshot. So there's really nothing not to like. What's not to like? Maybe there's some blind spots, some people have that 911 complex where they have to have the 911. They don't want the Cayman or the Boxster because they feel it's not a real 911. But that's it, really. I mean, you can get, this car was born under 60K CPO. You can get a base PDK for 30 grand. Do it. Do it. I mean, there's no reason not to. It's a phenomenal, phenomenal car. It's amazing. I could drive this all day, and miles per mile, oh man, the Boxster GTS wins. Now, if I was going to get one of the mid-engine Porsches, I honestly think I would get the Boxster, whether it's the GTS, the S, even the base. The base is phenomenally fast, even with the PDK gearbox. If you're not great at driving stick, or you just don't want stick because you're sitting in traffic, or you just love the technology in PDK, get the PDK. I won't fool you at all. Porsche PDK is amazing. This car, you can just throw it at any speed. And this Porsche, because it's naturally aspirated, sounds way better than mine. Way better. Listen to these exhaust clips. Listen to my 991.2 exhaust clips, and you'll hear the difference. It's no contest. All right, I'm going to keep driving this car till I run out of gas. In fact, I've already put gas in it. So remember to like, share, and subscribe, and go out there and buy a Boxster. You can buy a Boxster in the 30s from the 981 platform if you want a base PDK. And it'd be great to spend $60 to get the GTS. It's definitely worth every penny, but believe me, you don't need it. It is that good of a car. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time.